Hey everybody, this is Jay Ellison with Echo Benefit Solutions, and I have we're going to do 3 things you need to know about virtual assistants today, because I didn't know diddly squat about virtual assistants until I met mine, Paige, which is over here, depending on where you are on the screen. So I have Paige Ratterman on of Page Online, Page with an I, and that'll be on the bottom of the screen. And then Dana Jennings of Jennings Virtual Office. So thank you for braving a Zoom recording that you can't see your own face on and makes you very nervous and self-conscious, and you shouldn't be. So
for
there.
having us.
Better now?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Okay. No, but you guys are being silly and nervous, so there's no reason, because like this is easy. So yeah. So virtual assistant is becoming increasingly popular and well known now, especially after the zombie apocalypse of last year, with people working remotely. And there's a lot of people. When we've been working together, what, 3 years now, Paige?
Yeah, it's been 3 years. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that this morning. I snapped in a management meeting when I worked for another agency and quit and walked out and became an independent agent in about a 15-minute period, in 2018, like literally, like not exaggerating at all. And one of the first things I did in that process was get introduced to Paige, and it's been great, and it's been fun to grow with also, because you were fairly new in it as well at that point, and all that. But so it'd be fun to tell people about that. So what is, for the people that don't know or have incorrect understanding of it, what is a virtual assistant?
Yeah, so I'll start, and then Paige can go where I forget things. But basically, we can be your right hand person, or we can be like more of a sideline kind of thing. We can do anywhere between 5 hours to 40. We are a 1099 contractor status, so you only pay for the time that we work and what you need, which is really nice because you're not taking up office space, you're not paying a salary, you're not paying health benefits. We work with small businesses, large businesses all over the country. Doesn't matter what time zone you're in, doesn't matter what state you're in. It is a way to keep your business lean, but have the help that you need. So that's what I would say in a short, and if Paige, if I'm forgetting anything.
That sounds pretty good. Paige, you gonna add something there? Or?
Yeah, so we can cover a range of different tasks. So we help with anything from regular calendar management, inbox management. We can help with marketing. We can help with expenses and bookkeeping. So we cover a large range of different tasks that a small business owner might they don't have time, or maybe they don't have experience, or they just need help. They would rather be selling and connecting with their clients and building those relationships, and not have to be stuck in their office going through their emails, making sure their calendar looks good. So that's where we come in. So we're just helping small business owners. We want to propel their business forward and take those smaller items off their plate so that they can kind of stay in their zone of genius, if you will.
Yeah, well, and the genius, will use that term very loosely in this situation, but that's the second thing we were going to talk about, is like the value of the virtual assistant to the employer, or the, a lot of people, it's, solo business owner, and there are certain things, just speaking from my own experience, that only I can do, because of licensing or relationships with clients or whatever. So there's some things only I can do, and the more of that I do, the better it is for business. And then there's all of the other things that I can gratefully lateral to Paige, and that frees me up to do the things that only I can do. And if you have somebody who's good at this, can actually, once they understand your business, can actually look at what you're doing and then recommend, maybe these 2 or 3 things or something you don't necessarily have to do. And oh, I never thought of that, because you're too busy doing everything to look to analyze it and figure out what else you can offload, and or you're emotionally attached to something that you don't need to be doing because you've always done it. And no one can do this better than me, which is BS. someone can almost always do it better than you. But except for those one or two things that only you can do. So anything you want to add onto that?
Yeah. So if you are a business owner or you know a business owner, they always have a to-do list, right? It's always a mile long and there's always things that they can't get to or things that they wish they could get to, but there's only 24 hours in a day, right? So
Yep.
that's where we can help tackle that to-do list, if it's together, if it's working independently on something. And then another way we can help is researching different tools and technology that can streamline your process as well. So say you're doing everything by hand because you haven't had the time to sit down and say, what platforms do I need? What CRM system would be helpful? That's where I can come in, do the research, present it to you. You as the business owner make a decision like, yes, this is a good fit. And then I can learn it and we can work with it together, which can save everyone time and really propel your business forward by taking that item off your to-do list. So that's another way that we can help. If we're not doing it ourselves, we can also help to find technology that can save you time and keep you organized.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, because it's people that run businesses, they go from solo to having and growing into a team and stuff. Making the transition from doer to leader is very difficult, and being able to effectively delegate things and take the time, because yes, it takes longer to show someone how to do something than it does to do it yourself. But if you don't take that time, you're always going to do it yourself, and you're going to be ineffective. So being able to take that step with someone that you trust, and okay, like you have access to my CRM, so that's like everything I have for my business, you have access to, and all that stuff, and it doesn't bother me at all, because I'm not where it's more worrisome that I have access to it than anything. But yeah, but that's my brain. Everything is in there. So and it wouldn't be as organized as it is without somebody else going into it who has a different kind of brain, because I am not a detail focused on one thing at a time person. I'm ADD as a like crazy. So having somebody who's more organized like Paige go in there, okay, Jay, these are the things that there are discrepancies on, and here's a list of the things you need to fix because you didn't put them in correctly. And she says it very sweetly. But yeah, so unscrew all these things and everything will be perfect. So I would never catch that, or I wouldn't take the time to. So all right, and then last but not least, what else do people need to know from the business owner side, or from a perspective, hey, this virtual assistant thing sounds cool, how can I find out more?
Yeah, so one thing I would leave any business owners with kind of signing off here is, what could you do with more time? What does that look like for you? Could you build better, more relationships with clients? Could you go to more networking events? Could you think of more better ideas for your company? What could you do with more time, with a shorter to-do list and less things to think about, and a more streamlined process for your business? And if that's something that you're interested in, we can absolutely help you with that. Because we know we're both business owners. So we know we're in your shoes, we're entrepreneurs, we're startups, we think like startup, business owners. So we get it. I used to work for a startup company, like literally from the ground up. They only had 2 employees. So coming up with ideas and strategies and everything is kind of our zone of excellence, and also keeping organized and helping business owners move forward. So another thing I would add is, if this sounds interesting to you, Dana and I are actually working on a project together on how to start your own virtual assistant company. So we are putting together a guide and a few resources on what it's like to be a virtual assistant, what that entails, what a day in the life is like, things to think about if this interests you, to make sure it is a good fit, and then just the tools and resources you need to get started. So Dana, I'll shoot it over to you if you have anything to add.
Yeah, I guess lastly, I would just say, like, virtual assistants, you'd think it may feel distanced because you're through a computer, but really, I mean, I've become so close with my clients. I know Paige can say the same. We meet regularly through Zoom, and I really feel like there's so many programs out there that, you know, we connect with other virtual assistants and learn about that we can share with business owners. And so even if it's just for the knowledge of like tools and stuff like that, I really think there's so much to offer in a virtual assistant. And I really think it's like going to be the new thing eventually, because everything's moving online. But it is a very personalized experience. You're going to get that one-on-one connection. And I'm super glad to be here. So thank you for having us, Jay. I feel like
No problem. You know, where are you physically located?
I'm in Florida, so St. Augustine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's nice. I'm trying to think of the nicest way to say this. It's nice that when you work with someone in this capacity, they're still somewhat local. Like, so you can't actually have that first sit down and look each other in the eye, and then that shortens the process. But if you don't get to do that, then you build that same, you know, kind of connection, trust relationship over the phone and Zoom and text and everything else. It just takes a little bit longer, but it's the same, you know, it's just the same as real life, you know, only I don't annoy you as much. So that works out well. So Paige, you don't want to be stuck in an office with me like 40 hours a week. Like, no, I would drive you nuts. I'm sure. And I don't like Taylor Swift.
Oh, well,
Yes,
That's
it wouldn't
a
work.
deal breaker.
Wouldn't
those
work.
are some dangerous words, I'll tell you that.
I know. I say this with full confidence that you need my kids more than I'm afraid of Taylor Swift. So you know,
Yes.
babysitter, or dog sitters, or
Yes.
both. Yeah.
Both.
But this is the kind of thing that can happen, you know, so it works out really well. So, but all right, so I'll have website in for you guys on the bottom, and so people can reach out and see what y'all do and ask more questions. Hopefully they will. And then and we can put the when you come out with the guidebook, we can put that out through the same way as well. But that I'd be curious to read that just so I know what I don't know. And
Yeah.
I work from home. I'm virtual for most of my stuff. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. So, all right. Thanks, you two. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jay.